Phew. I guess that's everyone. I glanced around the room. That was surprisingly fun, albeit a bit stressful. I already knew that I wouldn't be able to write to the quality of the girls, but I tried my best. Everyone here is incredibly talented. Well, all the girls at least. Across the room, Sayori and Monica are happily chatting again. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As I watch, Natsuki breezes through Yuri's poem, her eyes skipping over the words. Meanwhile, Yuri stares at the poem in her hands, smiling sadly. Natsuki quickly hands Yuri her poem back. Here, I'm done. Oh, already? Yeah, it's not like it was super hard to read. I'm not illiterate, you know. It was hard for me to understand, at least. I just wanted to make sure that you caught all the figurative language that I've employed. Yeah, I did. It was fancy. Thanks. However, I believe that you'd enjoy it more if you looked deeper into it. I enjoyed it plenty already. Anyway, are you finished with my poem then? Yes, yours is... cute. Cute! Didn't you learn anything from my conversation yesterday? Yuri looked shocked, regret seeping into her expression. Seems like both girls still hold their own prejudices. They're very racist against different colored hairs, despite whatever common ground they have. How can it be cute? You're standing there thinking I haven't read your poem, when it's really you who hasn't read my poem. It's clearly about the push and pull between giving up and trying hard. I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. Well, maybe you should look deeper into my poem, because I use that type of language on paragraphs. I see. But if I may give a suggestion, these more involved subject matters may be better suited to more complex diction. The art of poetry is deeply intertwined with... Look, I know what you're trying to do, but it won't work on me. I'm sorry, but I don't quite understand. Writing in this way doesn't make you look cool or smart, okay? It just makes you look super pretentious. If you write with the thesaurus open next to you, you're just gonna... Let me try that again. If you write with the source open next to you, you're just going to alienate everyone. Using all these big words to make up for lack of depth. Poetry isn't about impressing people, so you can just stop. Holy crap. I stare wide-eyed at Monica and Sayori, who have also fallen silent. They stare back at me, looking unsure what to do. I'm guessing that they don't usually have many arguments in the club, although tensions between Natsuki and Yuri already seem kind of high. Lack of depth? Yeah, that's right. So if I can give some suggestions now... Excuse me. I appreciate the offer, but I really must ask, what makes you believe that I'll accept your advice after you've been so rude to me? Huh? Rude? That was just blunt honesty. Do you ever consider that other people don't hold the same opinions as you? What are you trying to say? Do I really need to spell it out for you? Yeah, you do! I want to see if you're really going there. The irony. I dare you to say it. Yuri gives a small laugh of disbelief. I must thank you, Natsuki. I've never been this angry in my life. It's actually given me the courage to speak up. Is this why you're angry all the time? Guys, we shouldn't... This doesn't involve you! Sayori, please don't rob me of my moment. So this is your moment to shine or something? Strange thing to take pride in, don't you think? No. It's my moment to finally speak my mind. While I still have the strength to. Yuri! Natsuki, have you ever realized how selfish you are? Suddenly, Yuri seems to be overpowering everyone else in the room. What? Everything always needs to go your way. You always jump to conclusions and make rash decisions without regard for the consequences. And it's never your fault, is it? You don't know me! No. You don't know me either. And yet you spoke as if you knew everything about me. Quite simply, you don't. The very fact that you don't think that your blunt honesty was incredibly rude just goes to show how narrow-minded you truly are. Seizing her moment, Yuri boldly carries on, disdain dripping from each word. I know it must be a difficult concept for you to understand, but the whole world doesn't revolve around you and your manga. So tell me, why should I take advice from someone who can only see their own perspective? Everyone knows it. Monica, Sayori, even Milo. Don't you remember how hostile you were to Milo when he first joined us? I wasn't being hostile. We haven't had a new member in a long time. Sorry, not sorry for keeping on my toes. And that's how I talk to everyone, not just Milo. How am I supposed to change my whole personality to cater to how you think I should be? If Milo has a problem with my jokes, he can tell me. You don't get to speak for him. Yuri closes her eyes and shakes her head, carrying on as if she didn't hear the outburst. Do you really expect a new member to be able to speak up so easily? Not everyone is as unafraid of being a brutish cretin like you. What? The rest of us were so excited to have a new member. But did that thought ever cross your mind? No. You just let your own selfish thoughts dictate your behavior. Selfish? They weren't You could have scared him off. That might have been what you wanted. But what about the rest of us? I just explained myself for God's sake, but per usual, you aren't listening. You know, for someone who's been ranting on about how narrow-minded I am, you're pretty intolerant yourself. There, I used a big word. How do I sound like Shakespeare yet? Am I worthy of your attention now? Ouch. Both girls really have their claws out. Also, Monica and Sayori didn't have any issue with me yesterday. It's just you. Of course they did. Oh wait, wrong. Of course they did, Natsuki. They just didn't say anything. Monica is too responsible, and Sayori's too kind. So why don't we ask Milo then? As the more unbiased spectator. Fine! Milo, who's right, me or Yuri? How did I get dragged into this in the first place? I don't even know what they want me to decide at this point. Should I just ignore all the personal stuff and just talk about their poetry? That's what started the argument after all. But it's not like I'm a good judge of writing quality, even that I'm just a beginner. I don't think it would be fair for me to take either side either, especially since I'm new here. Maybe I should defer to one of the club's leaders? So of course it's going to be... Monica, tell everyone that it's worthless and nothing matters! Sorry. I hate being put on the spot like this. Both Yuri and Natsuki are looking at me. While their hostility isn't aimed at me, I still feel like I'm the target for their anger in their eyes. Guys, I gulp nervously as a bead of sweat trickles down my neck. I'm really not the best judge for this. After all, I'm new, so I'm painfully aware of how weak my voice sounds. Neither girl looks impressed. Wow, real help you were. Natsuki. Let me guess, blah blah blah, you're being so rude. You're a broken record, Yuri, shut up. Ah, so you're finally realizing how insolent you are. You got there in the end. Well done. And you were such a bit. Stop! We're all stunned into silence. I've never heard Sayori angry before. But she doesn't look very angry. She looks like really upset, but not angry upset. And even Natsuki looks taken aback. Immediately, the anger on Sayori's face is replaced by a flood of tears, the anger giving way to sadness. Guys, I've had enough of this. Please. You're tearing this family apart. Please don't do this. I love this place so much. And you guys are both my friends. I hate it when people fight. It's horrible. This place means so much to me, and I know it means a lot to you guys as well. So please, can we please stop arguing over whose style is better? It doesn't even matter. You're both unique, and that's what counts. Yuri and Natsuki are both looking incredibly ashamed of themselves. I guess neither of them expected that their argument would hurt Sayori so much. That once raging fire has been snuffed out, replaced with smoldering embers. I really like your simple style, Natsuki. It's so nice to sit down and read a poem that springs to life. And I know the others do as well. Monica and I nod in earnest, putting a small smile on Natsuki's face. And Yuri, I'm amazed at how complex and deep your poems are. They're really in-depth. And there's no need to argue over which style is better. You really can't compare them anyway. It depends on what mood you're in. He's right, guy. I'm misgendering Sayori. I'm very sorry. She's right, guys. Sometimes you're just in the mood for something simple. Sometimes you might want something a bit more complex. It's like music or movies. People like a variety of things. You can't really say that comedy as a genre is better than action, can you? Both types appeal to different things. You wouldn't watch an action movie for the laughs, would you? I look over to Sayori and give her a reassuring smile. She returns with a watery smile of her own, rubbing her tears away. You said it, Milo. She turns to face Yuri and Natsuki once more. Now, you both said some stuff that was pretty mean. But I know neither of you meant it. Neither of you are narrow-minded. Although, it would be nice if you could like each other's stuff a bit more. So could you try doing that a little? Please? For me? For the club? I can't help but laugh as she puts on puppy dog eyes. I don't think she realizes the right time to use them. Sure, whatever, I'll try. Yuri takes a deep breath, finally lifting her eyes off the floor. You're right, Sayori. I'll also make more of an effort. And Natsuki? What? Natsuki still looks quite defiant, as though expecting another insult from Yuri. I apologize for what I said. Your style has its own merits. Natsuki blinks as though slapped in the face. She clearly wasn't expecting an apology. It's fine, don't worry about it. Your style is... She diverts her eyes downwards once more. I guess what I'm trying to say is you write pretty well. I shouldn't have said that stuff. Me either. There's an awkward silence. Let's much get better, guys. Thank you for putting your differences aside. We all really appreciate it. I'll go make some tea. She rushes off and Natsuki wanders over to the closet. I glance over at Monika. She hasn't said a word throughout the whole argument, which surprised me. I should have been the one who said all that. Why didn't you then? Yeah, why didn't you then? I once as the words leave my mouth, my mouth. They sounded more accusatory than I would have liked. Well, I know I'm the leader and I run this club, but I'm not the greatest with people. I frowned. If she isn't great with people, how can she run a club? She must have caught the confusion on my face as she hastened to explain. Sorry, let me rephrase that. I'm fine with people, it's just their drama that I can't really deal with. Well, that's why you have Sayori, right? She's an excellent vice president, able to deal with conflict much better than I can. Which is pretty embarrassing, at least for me. That should have been a duty, my duty to deal with, not hers. I don't blame you. Seriously, it was pretty tough to get involved. I could barely speak up. True, but that's exactly the sort of thing that a president should be able to deal with. Nah, come on, Monika, don't see it like that. You and Sayori just have different strengths, that's all. I always thought of her as a little ditzy sometimes, but she definitely has a knack for social situations. Definitely, I'm very grateful to have her as my vice president. Well, the both of you do a really good job running this place. I know that's a bit of an early assessment, but you know, first impressions and all that. He smiles sweetly at me, causing my stomach to knot. You're too kind, Milo. I'm glad Sayori brought you along to the club. I really do hope you stick around. Don't worry, I will. Monika seems like such a genuine person, and she makes a great president, regardless of what she might think. Hopefully I'll be able to properly get to know her during the school year. Okay, everyone. It's just about time for us to leave. How did you all feel about sharing your poetry? I know she carefully avoids mentioning the argument that just occurred. It was a lot of fun! Some moments were worth it. It was alright. Well, mostly. Milo, how about you? I actually really enjoyed myself. It seems I do like expressing myself through poetry. A lot more than I initially thought. Everyone's looking at me. Everyone looks intently at me. The girl's smiling at me. It was really cool getting to see everyone's different writing styles. That's awesome! In that case, we'll do the same thing tomorrow. And hopefully you'll learn something from us too. So your poems will turn out even better. Yeah. I think to myself a bit as I begin to pack up. Today I managed to learn a little more about the kinds of poems that everyone likes. With any luck, I'll be able to learn more about the girls as individuals through their themes and messages. I nod to myself, turning to Sayori. Hey Sayori, ready to walk home? Sure. Okay, see you guys tomorrow then. As we leave the club room, Sayori turns back to wave at the girls. I do the same. Well, she really snapped into place. Natsuki smiles, then quickly looks away to act like she doesn't care. Yuri awkwardly smiles and nods. And, as expected from the school idol, Monika gives a friendly grin and waves back. Sayori, about what happened earlier? What do you mean? You know, between Yuri and Natsuki, I remember you told me yesterday that they sometimes bicker, but are all the arguments normally that bad? I feel a little guilty as I ask her, as I know she doesn't like talking about conflict. There's a dip in the cheeriness of her voice as she replies, No, not at all. They have their differences, but it's the first time I've ever seen them fight like that. They're both wonderful people, I promise. You don't hate them or anything, do you? Oh, not at all. It's only normal for people to argue, I guess. I was just curious. After all, you know them better than I do. Sayori lets out a relief sigh. You know, Milo, it's been so nice seeing you again. I didn't really think we'd get to spend so much time with one another again. Yeah, tell me about it. It's been really fun hanging out with you again. I don't really know when we started drifting or why. Guess it was just life coming between us? She nods, looking a little reflective. Still, I'm glad you let me join your club. I'm not gonna lie, at first I was a bit doubtful when you told me it was about literature. But hey, I guess it just goes to show that you shouldn't judge a book by its cover. She giggles and I frown. Did I say something funny? You got that one from Natsuki, didn't you? What? Oh right, she did say that yesterday. Sayori might be known as a bit of an airhead, but sometimes she can really notice things that others don't. I wonder, what's it really like inside her head? You wanna know? You haven't changed at all, Milo. You always knew how to make me laugh. I blush whitely. I've never really known how to react to a compliment, especially when it comes from someone of the opposite sex. I don't know why their genitals are... I'm glad I'm still able to do that. I'll be honest though, I didn't think I'd make so many new friends by joining the club. Well, they're a really nice bunch. I'm not surprised. Yeah, a pretty warm welcome. She nods contentedly. Anyway, let's see what the future holds. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, see you tomorrow. These girls are all interesting characters, aren't they? Different personalities and a variety of writing styles. Yet they're all united under the same club. I briefly wonder how Monica found all of them. In just 2 days, I feel like I've made progress with each member. Getting to know Yuri and Natsuki, actually getting to talk to Monica a little bit, and of course reuniting with an old friend. I never would have guessed this would all come from joining the club, but hey, I'm not complaining. Let's just hope my writing improves over time so I can write poems to a standard more like theirs. Speaking of which, there's work to be done tonight. Let's do this.